Greetings, I'm Jen with Jen Grant Presents, and I'm really happy to have you here. I just wanted to share a couple quick minutes so that you get to know me a little bit better before we share our time together creating an amazing program for you and your team. Growing up, I always knew I wanted to help people, but I didn't always know what that looked like. Until recently, I had found myself searching and seeking and exploring a variety of possibilities, ways in which I could help others. I was in real estate, direct sales, I worked in a variety of offices, I even worked at a nonprofit, thinking that offering my time as a nonprofit special events coordinator was the way to go. However, prior to all of that, I actually went to school to be an FBI agent. And although that wasn't a perfect fit either, I did find myself as a corrections officer in an all-male maximum security prison. During that time, I learned about compassion fatigue. Although I didn't have a title, I didn't have the words for it, I had understood what compassion fatigue and vicarious trauma was all about. Fast forward on my journey, and then I ended up getting trained in Kundalini yoga and meditation. I teach mindfulness and self-care workshops all across the state, the region, and the country. I'm also a speaker and an author and a coach. Recently, I found myself in a situation giving a presentation, sharing the messages of mindfulness and self-care, sharing this understanding that I gathered through all of this transition and all of this time. And I was visiting with a woman who worked with probation officers. And we talked about compassion fatigue and vicarious trauma, and we talked about the possibility of bringing this work to them. She asked me how I felt about working with probation officers, and that's when I was able to link the circle together. You see, I already understood. Because I'd had the experience as a corrections officer, I was able to circle it all back together. I got it. I understood what compassion fatigue and vicarious trauma feels like. And I understand how to support it. So with all of the tools that I've gathered through the many years of exploration, I figured it out. I found what I'm here to do, and that's to bring these mindfulness and self-care workshops forward. It's to bring them to groups that are in social services, such as probation officers and police officers, social workers. It's also to bring this work to educators, administrators, those that work with students and the education system, and to bring this work into the healthcare, nurses, doctors, physical therapists. This work crosses all across the board. Anyone that experiences compassion fatigue and vicarious trauma, this work is a good fit. It's all about exploring how we can expand our space. So as we expand this space within, we can then bring in the tools of self-care. But if we don't have first an understanding of compassion fatigue and vicarious trauma, the mindfulness and self-care piece won't do as much good. So I'm really excited to marry this work and to bring it all together so that you and I can create an incredible workshop for your team, giving tools that will help support them and their clients, and ultimately it will increase the bottom line. It will increase how we're able to show up every single day. I look forward to connecting with you further, answering all the questions that you have, and diving into this a little bit more together. You can reach me below, and I can't wait to chat with you. Have a beautiful day.